and welcome to Critical Political. I'm Corey, and you're watching The Political Void. This week, we are delving into the blatant dismissal of the economic pressures on the average American and, by extension, on the portion of the global population that is not part of the Epstein class. Here we go. Often used to illustrate the profound indifference of the elite toward the plight of the impoverished, the iconic phrase, qu'ils mangent de la brioche, or let them eat cake, is often attributed to Marie Antoinette. There is no historical proof that the Queen ever uttered these words. Instead, the expression most likely appears first in Jean-Jacques Rousseau's Confessions of 1765, written while Marie Antoinette was still a young child. One of the key food staples of the French Third Estate was bread. While nutritiously incomplete, it did provide the calories needed for the labor that the impoverished masses endured to survive. When this became unaffordable, it became a key component to help justify the French Revolution. In its original French context, the quote mentions brioche, a luxury bread enriched with eggs and butter, not the dessert we think of as cake today. Using it as an example of royal ignorance, the suggestion was that if the common people lacked basic bread, they should simply consume more expensive baked varieties. Currently, the phrase serves as a political cliche, representing the disconnect between out-of-touch elites and the daily hardships faced by the general public. Beyond her reputation for extravagance, the French revolutionary government saw Marie Antoinette as a threat to the state and a traitor's emblem of the old regime. Following the execution of Louis XVI, she was charged with high treason and the depletion of the national treasury. Accused of plotting with her native Austria to undermine the Republic, she was executed by guillotine on October 16, 1793. This video is sponsored by the like button. Click it below to find out more. Although the stock market and corporate profits have appeared stable for some time, and Donald Trump continues to proclaim an unprecedented economic era, a deeper look reveals a more troubling reality. Underlying these figures are serious indicators that the average American is beginning to fracture under financial strain. The rising difficulties with credit card payments, student loans, and auto financing, with mortgages soon to follow, serve as a clear warning of an impending crisis. According to a chart shared on Twitter by Charlie Bolo, the chief market strategist at Creative Planning, several alarming financial milestones have been reached. Credit card delinquencies of over 90 days have hit 13.1%, marking the highest point since 2011. Similarly, student loan delinquencies of the same duration have reached 10%, a level not seen since 2020. Most strikingly, 5.12% of auto loan balances are now more than 90 days past due, representing the highest level ever recorded. With mortgage delinquencies also beginning to climb, it is clear the economy is heading in the wrong direction. The rise in unpaid mortgages is particularly concerning, as these are typically the final obligation individuals choose to neglect. The corporate sector's earnings report suggests a robust consumer, but the reality is that Americans are forced into credit card debt by rising costs. Kevin Hassett recently claimed this impending surge is due to people having more disposable income. He even recounted a meeting with a top bank executive who noted that spending is through the roof for gasoline and other essentials, attributing this to financial strength. However, Hassett's interpretation is fundamentally flawed. Racking up high-interest debt because life has become unaffordable is not a sign of economic health. For those trapped in a debt spiral or facing the repossession of their cars and foreclosure of their homes, political social media posts are irrelevant. Their primary concern is the mounting interest they owe each month. The ongoing economic pressure is further exacerbated by the current state of employment and corporate taxation. Despite significant job losses, several major corporations continue to receive substantial financial advantages. Amazon eliminated 30,000 positions while securing a $7.8 billion tax incentive. Meta reduced its workforce by 8,000 employees despite an $8 billion tax break. PayPal, formerly associated with Elon Musk, cut 4,800 jobs and maintained a $0 federal income tax liability. Disney also paid $0 in federal income taxes after cutting 1,000 jobs. With employment figures already struggling, these corporate tax breaks are clearly failing to fulfill the promise of job creation. While the average American cracks under financial pressure, the Trump administration remains disconnected. As the president focuses on selecting marble for a redundant White House ballroom, he has explicitly stated that he does not weigh the financial circumstances of regular citizens when making presidential decisions. He was actually heard saying, "I don't consider Americans' financial situations when deciding what to do as president." When you're drowning in credit card debt, you don't care about Truth Social posts. You're concerned about the interest you pay on your credit card over the next month. You are forced to sacrifice some needs to afford others, like the most basic of necessities. You may be closer to having your car repossessed, or worse, having your home foreclosed on. These are not signs of a healthy or strong economy. As the population falls deeper into debt and accrues compounding interest on that debt, the Trump administration either doesn't comprehend the issue or do and have made the decision to not acknowledge it. Along with being active in politics, there are other things you can do to better weather the economic conditions that are likely to occur. Secure basic needs through building a 1 to 3 month supply of non-perishable goods, foods, bottled water, and essential medicines. Pay off high interest debt immediately and secure physical emergency cash at home. Acquire hard assets like tools and other repair items to stretch the lifespan of what you already have. Reduce fixed costs by auditing recurring expenses like streaming services or other unused subscriptions, and negotiate lower utility bills. Use your community as a center for a bartering-based economy. Boost your job security or bartering leverage by developing recession-resistant skills, taking up skilling courses, or starting a non-gig economy side hustle. Just don't count on the current administration to pull us out of economic decline. Robert Kiyosaki said, "History reminds us that dictators and despots arise during times of severe economic crisis." That's all for this week. Until next time, remember, silence is compliance. Your voice is vital. Stand up, speak out, strike back. They don't know what they started. If you appreciate this content, please like, share, and subscribe. For updates, ring the bell. Your support truly helps the channel.